Then we can start live chat number 55. See Stacey Ann from North Carolina there. You're the first one here today. Yeah, shocking. My sister, Kerry Brooks. Evening. Hope you've had a good week. Ish, pretty much. 2 seconds and we will get this party started. It's working. There we go. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome wherever you are in the world. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to Brooks's Base Corner, live chat number 55. Yeah, we've done 55 of these. Believe it or not, we have. You can check on the live section or the live playlist and you'll see all 55 videos are there. Oh, Mum's on too. Mum's ready and waiting. Very good. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope your bass playing's good. If you're out gigging and you've been doing some gigs over the past week, I hope everything went fine and dandy for you. But anyway, you're very welcome. Live chat number 55 here on Brooks's Bass Corner. I'm Mike Brooks. Welcome. What more can I say? If you've never been on a live chat before, whether on my channel or someone else's channel, let me give you the preamble. Okay, so I know someone last week got a bit shirty that we do this bit, but not everyone knows all the fine intricacies of YouTube and how live chats work and what have you. So if I give you the information at the beginning, what you guys do with it from there on is up to you. But at least if I give you the information, you know how it all works. So this is the live video window. Hi, good to see you. Directly below, if you're on the mobile app, on your phone or tablet or what have you, directly below is the live chat window. If you're on the desktop version, it's that way. If you want to leave a message here on the live chat or you want to ask me a question or a comment or what have you, literally put your pointer, mouse, cursor, whatever you want to call it, into the live chat window, type your question or comment, press send, it'll pop up here on my laptop. I can respond to you. That's how that works. So at the bottom of the live chat window, you'll see an emoji icon. Feel free to give that an absolute leathering, a pummeling, whatever you want to call it. The more emojis you guys throw up here on the live chat, the better it is for the channel. Shows the YouTube algorithm that you're enjoying the live chat and you're getting involved. Next to the emoji icon, you're going to see a dollar symbol. That's called Super Chat. So if you'd like to make a financial contribution or a donation to the channel, it can be very small, it might be very large, whatever you wish to do. The videos are free, watching the live chats are free, but if you like what we do here on the channel, you like the reviews, the demos, the interviews, the feature videos, the whole shebang, if you want to make a financial contribution to the channel, you can do so by hitting the Super Chat button at the bottom of the live chat window. So if you're enjoying the videos, feel free to give them a thumbs up using the thumbs up icon directly below the video window. If you give it a thumbs down, obviously you're not enjoying either this video or what the channel does. If you do that, please leave a comment so that I can get a grip on why you don't enjoy the video or what you don't like about the channel. I can't make it better if you don't tell me what the problem is. So, you know, I always want to make the channel and the videos as good as I can. So if there's a problem or you don't particularly like what we do, let me know. So underneath the video window, you'll see an array of icons. There's thumbs up, as we've just explained. There's a thumbs down, of course. Next to that is the share arrow, which allows you to share the video out to email, websites, social media, wherever you want to share the video. Next to it is a shop icon, so you can buy Brooks's Base Corner merchandise. There's some here. I've got some other bits and pieces I'll show you shortly. And also underneath the video window, so you've got the shop icon there. There's also the merchandise shelf within YouTube. So basically, if you see an item there and you want to buy it, you just click on it, go through with the buying process. The channel receives a very small creator commission. That's basically what it's called. So if for example, a t-shirt sells for £20, $20, €20, I don't get, well, me and the channel don't get that full amount. We get a small percentage, but all those small percentages add up. That's the way it works. Then next to the shop icon, you've got the save button, which allows you to save a video, this video obviously, for later viewing. And then next to that, you should also see a love heart with a dollar symbol in, and that's called Super Thanks. Works in exactly the same way as Super Chat. So again, if you want to contribute to the channel, So what does that money go on? It goes on studio time, it goes on pedals, it goes on cleaning items that we use for the workshop videos. It goes on the cables, the microphones, the boom stands, the lights, the picks, all the various bits and bobs you see in the videos. That's how it works. So if you want to help to keep the channel running for hopefully years and years to come, feel free to make a financial contribution if you wish to do so, but you don't have to. The videos are free to watch. So if you're not already a subscriber to the channel, quite frankly, why not? But if you aren't already a subscriber to the channel, feel free to hit the subscribe button below this video. Hit the notification bell so you get notifications when I post up new videos. Comment in the community tab. Do anything here on YouTube. Now, with the notification bell, there are 3 settings. So if you hit it, it automatically goes to none, which means you're going to get no notifications. The second option is highlights, which means the algorithm pulls out videos and upcoming posts and what have you that it thinks you will like. If you want to get notifications when I'm doing impromptu live chats, when I'm out on gigs or meeting famous bass players, you need to hit the third option, which is all. So when you hit the notification bell, there'll be a staggered 3 option listing. You want all, and then you'll get notifications for all the videos and the content that goes up here on the channel. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. Couldn't be simpler. And it all helps the channel progress. It helps the algorithm to promote the channel and the videos. And actually, since last week's live chat, I've noticed that a video I produced earlier on in the year, which was looking at my bass collection, which I uploaded in January, has suddenly taken on a whole new body of activity. So basically it's been getting about 50 views every day, where it had done really well when it came out and then had kind of plateaued for a couple of months. It's now doing around 50 views a day. So I don't know what's causing this. I think the algorithm, well, going into the analytics, the algorithm is saying it's just presenting it to people and they're clicking on it. So if you're a new subscriber here or a new viewer to the channel and you've watched that video and that's kind of brought you along to tonight's live chat, or you're looking at other content on the channel, thank you very much appreciated. And to all the new subscribers, there's been a whole glut of them over the past 2 weeks. You're very welcome. Welcome to Brooks's Bass Corner. If you are looking for various bass content, feel free to have a look around. Hope you find something you like. If you're looking for some specific bass related content and I'm not doing it, let me know. Leave a comment, leave a message on the community tab. Find me on social media. So you'll find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, Threads, BeReal, Discord, Reddit, Quora and TikTok. I think that's everything. And let me know anything that you'd particularly like to see. Now, in the description box underneath the video, there's so many panels. There's video, there's merch shelf, there's the icons, there's description box. Right, in description box below, you will find merch links. So if you want to buy Brooks's Bass Corner merch, there's a UK and European store and a US and worldwide store. From today up until 1 minute to midnight on Sunday, which is the 17th, yeah, all merchandise has free shipping. So free regular shipping, which means it gets to you within about 3 or 4 days. There is no shipping cost. So if you're looking to buy some merch, you'd like a bit of a discount on what you're paying, there's no shipping cost. So if you want to buy one of these Brooks's Bass Corner bass color logos, feel free. If you're looking for some of the new Bass Legend quote merch, I can explain that if you're not sure what I'm talking about. But anyway, we've got a t-shirt there with a quote from Chris Squire, one from Mark King. There's 2 others on there, one from Lee Sklar, one from Nathan East. If you're not sure who these bass legends are, I suggest you use Google. Google's your friend, and it will highlight you what these bass legends have done over their careers. So there's a range of merchandise which basically uses quotes from interviews I've done with these guys over the years. There's a range of mugs and a range of t-shirts. Literally go into the storefront. Again, the links are in the description box. Find the design you like. then decide which item you want the design placed on. If it's a garment, pick the color, pick the size, add it to your basket, go through with the transaction, and there's a redeem button there so that you don't pay for the delivery. And that runs until Sunday. So shop away, gang, feel free. So that's all the merchandise stuff. Now, underneath the merch in the description box, you'll find affiliate links for Thomann, Amazon here in the UK, across Europe, US and worldwide. Now, the affiliate links, how does this work? So basically, if you've got a bass related purchase, maybe a new bass, pedal, amp, speaker, combo, strings, gig bag, anything bass related, you can help the channel by clicking on one of the affiliate links. So there are affiliate links for Thomann, Amazon, Gear for Music and Andertons. Find the item you're after, or if you don't know what you're after, on Thomann and Amazon, I've created storefronts for you, Brooks's Bass Corner storefronts, broken down into sections. There's sections for basses, amps, pedals, cleaning materials, strings, accessories, gig bags, the whole shebang. Find the items you want, add them to your basket, go through with the transaction. And once you buy the items, Brooks's Bass Corner again receives a very small affiliate commission. I say small, they all are very small, but if lots of people buy items, those affiliate commissions become bigger, which also then means I can offer you discounts, and when offers come through from the various retailers, I can offer them to Brooks's Bass Corner community. That's how that all works. So that's the preamble. Let's get on to the live chat window, see who we've got with us. And welcome back to all the regulars. We are now back on regular Tuesday night, 8 o'clock London time here in the UK. So we are now booked in every Tuesday up until the 19th of December, which is a week before Christmas. And the only week when we're not doing a Tuesday and we're doing a Monday is at the end of October. So we'll be here on the 30th of October, not the 31st. So I've said hello to Stacey Ann, said hello to my sister, said hello to my mum. Akima, good to see you. I haven't seen you for a long time. Oh, that's my niece. Forgot that. My niece and my dad. Yeah, very good. Everyone got the whole family on. Sister, love the orange t-shirt. I think I showed you that at the weekend. Maybe I didn't. Thank you anyway for the comments. Mum saying hello to everyone. Steffi from Germany. Hello again. Good evening. Mum saying hello to Stacey. Lewis Wingrove. Good to see you, my friend. Hope everything's well. Need to know your purchases, Lewis. You're a man of exquisite taste and regular effect pedal purchasing. So let's know what you've been buying. See you. Good to see you. Haha. Welcome. I can't remember who you are from that. I think you've been on here before. James Sweeney. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Stacey saying hello to everyone. Lewis, the pedal master. Absolutely. Stacey saying hello to my mum and my sister. Very good. You're all saying hello to everyone. Martin Fay from Dublin. Good to see you. We missed you last week and the week before, but I hope you're okay. Let's know if you've been buying anything. Good. Everyone's saying hello to us. Friendly little community this evening. Obviously, got to have the Brooks's Bass Corner mug. Mum, you'll be getting yours tomorrow, of course, when you're up here. So cheers, everyone. Good to see you. Thanks for joining in. You can buy your Brooks's Bass Corner mugs via the merchandise links in the description box. You should also be seeing them actually underneath the video window. I can promote products that I sell from my merchandise on specific videos. So YouTube should be doing its job and showing the mugs. So there's that one. I think it's showing. And the black one, which is here behind me. So if you want one of these, just go on the merchandise, either buy it on the merch shelf, go to the shop button, or go through directly using the links below. So both of these mugs have been here at Brooks's Bass Corner for months, in and out of the dishwasher like crazy. The prints are fabulous. They don't fade. So if you're looking for good quality mugs, I can highly recommend a Brooks's Bass Corner mug. It survives the dishwasher and they don't fade. We've had loads of merch, not Brooks's Bass Corner stuff, but bands and stuff over the years. And generally they fade, but for some reason the Brooks's Bass Corner mugs don't. So Well done, Spreadshirt. Well done, Spreadshop. See you. I'm a bass player in Texas. I think you've been here before. I could be wrong. Let me know. If you've been here on the channel before, welcome back. If you haven't, you're very welcome. Thank you for attending. Lewis Wingrove, I'm on a Game Changer kick, and of course, Universal Audio as well. Excellent. Considering the Boss Space Echo should edge out the Universal Audio offerings. Very good. Very good. What made you go down the route of the Boss Space Echo, Lewis? What caught your ear? What made you check that out? Let me know. So anyone that was on live chat last week, I said I had a busy week coming up, and Lord knows I did. Let's think, where were we Wednesday? Wednesday had 1,000,001 jobs to do before my gigging started. Then Thursday, I had a wedding in Covent Garden here in London with Uncle Funk's Disco Inferno. And that was an odd affair. So we all turned up at the time we were meant to turn up, and to find out that we weren't able to get into the room, we weren't able to set any equipment up, basically sat around for hours until the client and their guests left the room. And we literally had 40 minutes to set a whole PA system, lighting, get everyone in the band, we're a 9-piece band, all set up. Somehow we managed it, but it was slightly bizarre. Then Friday, where was I Friday? Portsmouth with This Is Queen, a Queen tribute band. And that was playing a 70th birthday party. So thankfully they were all Queen fans. Otherwise it would have been a bit of a dull, damp squib. But it was very good. Enjoyed it a lot. And then Saturday we had an Uncle Funk Disco Inferno wedding in Shearing, which is in Hertfordshire, kind of up the M11 and then across to the right. Not far actually from Stansted. And that was great, really great gig, good fun. But again, weddings overrunning, not leaving us much time. We had a curfew time that we had to adhere to. So instead of doing 2 1-hour sets, I think we ended up doing like 1 hour and 20 minutes, maybe not even that much. Just the way it was. If you're going to have a wedding event and there's a curfew and the band have to adhere to it, then if you eat the time up, we can't carry on. So it was what it was, but it was a lot of fun. Clients seemed very happy. Guests seemed very happy. They didn't stop dancing. And we had loads of lovely comments when we finished that. It was all good. Lewis, Bixby Tremolo is the next purchase from Game Changer. Whammy bar for bass without the tuning stability. Very good. See, I need to start seeing videos of all this stuff, Lewis. You can send them to me via Instagram if you want, or whatever suits your purpose. But you're a man with regular purchasing power. I need to see these toys, obviously. So this week, what we got coming up? Well, tomorrow, for those in the know, is my father-in-law's funeral. So it's been, we've been hyper busy for the past 3 weeks getting that arranged and organised. So today and tomorrow, kind of pre-booked and very busy. So there won't be a whole lot of activity on the channel. Well, after tonight's live chat for a day or two, just bear with me. We'll get back into the swing of things over the next week or so, and there will be a load of new content going up. So where am I? Thursday, I'm on standby for a Queen tribute gig, but I think the guy I'm meant to be standing in for is okay now. He had a bit of a health scare last week, and I think he went to see a doctor today. He said he felt a lot better, and I can stand down, but I know how these things work. And when he fell ill last week, he was actually en route to a gig in Dublin at the airport. And yeah, so because that happened without much announcement, I said to him, mate, I will be on standby for you. And if you decide on Thursday morning you can't get to Guildford, just let me know and I'll stand in for you. So on standby for that. Then got ABBA, Platinum ABBA, doing a corporate function on Friday at the Grosvenor House Hotel. Grosvenor House, I think? Grosvenor Square, I can't remember anyway. Play at the Grosvenor Hotel in London on Park Lane on Friday. And then Saturday, I'm trying to think, where are we? We are at Stroke Park in Herne Bay in Kent, doing an outdoor, it's not a festival, it's just a show, but it's at like a bandstand at Strode Park in Kent. So if you know it, you want to come along, let me know. I have access to guest list, passes, all that kind of thing. So if you'd like to come down, let me know. Saw some people pop up there. Lewis Wingrove, Space Echo is about collecting legendary rack units. Okay, yeah, it is. Patrick Sweeney, good evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. Good to see you, Patrick. Hope everything's okay where you are. Any new purchases, sir? Lewis is telling us all about his latest effects purchases. Very good. You will hear dogs yapping in the background. So obviously we have Lord Charles Chi, the Chihuahua here. We've also got my in-laws' dog who's staying overnight. So we've got Ollie here as well. So we've got the pair of them. And they're causing a right old scene out in the hallway. But there we go. Not to worry, but we shall soldier on. So I hope everyone's good. I hope your bass playing's going well. So if you're new to the channel, this is how it works. Basically, feel free to ask questions. You got any comments? You're looking for advice on basses, amps, pedals, accessories, speakers, combos, anything to do with bass. If your gear's not working, or you're looking to set up a pedal board, or you want to set up a bass, or you've got some money and you don't know what to buy next, or you're looking at some basses and like some advice, if I can help, I'm more than happy to do so. It's what I'm here for. If I don't know the answer, then one of the fine learned souls that we have here on Brooks's Bass Corner might well know the answer. So feel free to ask any questions. If we can help, that's what we want to do. I had a gentleman watch one of the videos today. He was watching the Lakeland 4464 workshop video. And he left a very rude comment. So if you're here and you're watching, I'll respond to you now. I wouldn't let your comment go up on in the comments on my video, because I thought the way you messaged me was exceptionally rude. So rather than give you the airtime, which you might just be doing it because you're a wind-up merchant. So basically, he was saying that in that video, I lay that bass down on the workbench, as I've always done, flat, and I'm setting up the intonation for the bass at the bridge. So obviously action is one thing, intonation is another. And he started to spout the claptrap that I've heard millions of times before. And you'd think in this day and age, rather than spout a load of old rubbish, you'd actually test what you're saying before you said it. But no. So what he was going on about was he was being relatively rude and obnoxious and saying that I was mad for setting the intonation on a bass with the bass flat like that because of gravity. So the fact the string is passing over the bridge saddle, you're telling me the power of gravity is going to pull that string down far more that way than if I set the bass up on its side and do the intonation like that. Mate, if you knew the amount of pressure that these strings exert in a downward fashion, it doesn't matter whether you do it flat or on its side. Now, you could do the acid test before you came on my channel and started shouting and screaming and talking rubbish. So, okay, set your bass up and do the intonation with the bass flat and get it all right. And then tilt the bass like that and check it on a tuner. Yeah? And I bet you now, if I was, well, I can't do it because I'm not at the workbench, but if I'd set this up right now and checked it and got it in and then tilted it that way, I bet the reeds on the tuner would say exactly the same. You can't tell me that setting it up like that or like that is going to make a huge marked difference. It's not. You're talking rubbish. I suggest he falls into the club of people that are either looking just to start an argument, or he's watched a video or listened to some bloke that he thinks clearly knows what he's talking about, but maybe doesn't, and has suggested this. Now, Dave's World of Fun Stuff used to get these idiots on here all the time, and they would have a go. You can't set a bass up flat. You've got to set it how it would be when you're playing it. That's fine, and I get the whole gravity thing, but you can't tell me, with all the musicians in the world and all the techs and all the guys. Now, how many, you're going to tell me Steve Lukather's tech sets his guitar up and does the intonation with it on its side. Brian Maystech, Pete Malandrone, you're telling me he sets his guitars up? Like, no, on a gig or in a live setting, they have to do it on a workbench, and they don't have a huge amount of room to do it. The guy was talking crap, but basically he came onto my video and left a really crappy comment. So, mate, you've been hidden from the channel. I won't be showing your comment. If you come onto any more videos with a different ID or whatever, it will soon become fairly obvious that it's you again, and I'll just hide you from the channel again. But thank you for your comment, and point taken on board, but I think you're talking absolute rubbish. So take your opinions and feel free to air them to people who really give a stuff about what you say. Rubbish, absolute rubbish. Right, that's my little rant over. It annoyed me at the time, but once I'd hidden him, I was like, forget it. Idiots. Let's see, where are we? Stacey saying hello, Patrick Sweeney. Lewis Wingrove, finally found a good fuzz pedal. Ross is back. Ross, as in the company? They the ones used to make the black pedals with one colour livery on. Not sure. Lewis Wingrove. After long research on fuzz on bass, I found the issue with fuzz. Simply the frequency of 200 hertz and lower is not the ideal frequency for bass. No, it's not. You must use a higher frequency. Yeah, fuzz in mids, certainly low mids, is never that great. Fuzz is basically, you want that affecting your top end more than anything. Yet, bizarrely, a lot of fuzz pedals won't have a frequency control. It's very hard to determine where that fuzz is being activated, but they do all tend to have kind of tone controls. You just got to use your ears for the sound you want. No time for negative feelings. Tell that bloke to chill out. No, it's all right. He's hidden from the channel. I can see him, but he can't post anything on the channel. It's fine. I'd recommend a better tuner for intonation. It's probably a better suggestion. Lewis, I've heard this nonsense about gravity so often, but it is nonsense. If you set it when the bass is flat and then check it when it's on its side, it isn't going to be any different. It isn't. It really isn't. If you knew what the pressure, the pound per square inch that strings exert, which is why necks have truss rods. That downward force doesn't change because you've put the bass on its side. It doesn't change. Just talking rubbish. Yes, Patrick, the world is full of so-called experts. Isn't that the truth? Go on Dave's World of Fun stuff. You can watch any of his videos and there will have been the video before some dipstick telling Dave, oh, you can't set a bass up or like that or a guitar up like that. It's got to be done on its side. Rubbish. Lewis Wingrove, that doesn't change the maths on the strings like 34 inches. No, it doesn't. Look, you cannot tell me that when you're setting a bass up and it's tuned to pitch and you're setting the intonation up, that setting the intonation up flat with the bass like that is going to be any different than setting it up like that. It's the same thing. There's a lot of PSI especially from the thinner strings. It's not going to be any different. The guy was just looking for an argument. He was wanted to start a flame war, and I wasn't having it. I don't tolerate it. I don't. People can have their opinions, but my channel isn't a vehicle for them to exhibit that. You know, you won't get any promotion for your nonsense on my channel. And it's my channel, so I decide what gets displayed and what doesn't. Every comment on every video runs past me before it gets displayed. So, you know, we've had people here on live chats a long time ago who would come on and just cause a load of grief, and they got blocked within about 3 seconds. So it's cool. It's cool. I run a tight ship. It's my channel. It's, yeah. Lewis Wingrove, I've done that one. Martin Fay, I always set my bass up upside down because Tal Wilkenfeld is my favourite bassist. Now you're just being silly, Martin. But Tal Wilkenfeld is a fabulous bassist, by the way. any of you don't know who we're talking about, Google, search her name. She's Australian. She's played with a lot of big names. She was Jeff Beck's bass player for a number of years. Great jazz player, great everything player. How she does it, I couldn't tell you. She's one of these kind of child prodigies, but getting older now. But a great player. Lewis, intonation is mathematics, point A to B. Yep, absolutely. But it's not going to make any difference whether you set it up flat or on its side. Doesn't make any difference. It's nonsense. It's like conspiracy theory. That's someone's cottoned onto it and said, oh, we can, you know, we should tell people they should set them up there. Rubbish. If I'd had the time, I would have done a video to answer him and set up a bass and said, right, I've set it up that way. So you're telling me when I put it on its side, it's not going to be in tune, or the intonation's not going to be right. And the tuner would have shown you exactly the same as it was when I did it on its when it was laid flat on the desk. Madness. So yeah. So have you got any questions about basses, guitars, basses or guitars, bass and guitars, speakers, amps, combos, effect pedals, gig bags, cleaning materials, leads? Someone was asking about leads last week. Picks, any of this stuff. How to set a bass up, how to set a pedal board up, how to set your amp. If you want to use IEM, seems to be a big conversation piece on a lot of bass forums at the moment. Using IEMs, no amplification, people looking at all the different preamp pedals. If I can help, more than willing to do so. I've got over 4,000 gigs under my belt. Been playing for, this is where it gets a bit scary, 36 years, professional for 28. Gigging regularly, gigging with a lot of different bands, putting in the miles. So if I can help, if you've got a problem with your bass gear, chances are I might have experienced something similar in the past, might be able to help you. If I can, more than willing to do so. Patrick, I generally wear my special pants when I'm doing the intonation on my basses, but that's just me. See, I tend to do it stood on one leg with my left arm behind me. Yeah. I know what you're saying, Patrick Sweeney. See you. I have a friend that bought a Jackson bass, okay, and the action is very, very high. Does he need to put a shim under the neck pocket? Well, first of all, you've got to work out how much room you've got on the bridge. So, I take this very fine Fender FSR Precision. First thing you've got to ascertain is, have you still got room on the saddles? So can they still be dropped? So basically get the bass laid out. Check the neck relief as well. If you don't know how to do that, I've got videos here on the channel, workshop videos that will show you how to do that. A lot of people do it by feel. I tend to like doing it with feeler gauges, so you can get a proper idea on what's going on. Capo on the first fret, then basically fret the 17th fret, and then place a feeler gauge between frets 3 to 7, and you'll see roughly what you've got there. If it's over about 15 to 18, are they 32s or 64s? I think it's 64s. Then the relief needs to come down a bit, so you're going to be looking at adjusting the truss rod. But first of all, do the easy stuff. So generally, if you've got some room on the bridge, on the saddles to drop that, do that. If it's still way too high, then yes, you can shim the neck. It's not a bad thing. Ideally, you don't want to have to do it, but if it means you can get the action how you want it, then go for it. Make sure you use thin material, whether it's, you can use cardboard, but it's not great because the pressure of compression will thin it out even more. So sometimes I use like bits of an old credit card. Some people used to use picks. You can actually buy bags of shims, which are, it's not always plastic, but it's like a solid material. Now, ideally, you want it all around the pocket. You can buy shim plates, but because every neck pocket seems to be different, unless it's, you know, if you're dealing with you're dealing with a Jackson, but I don't know what the shape of the neck pocket is. Generally, I might put 2 or 3 in there. So if it's fairly sort of rectangular or square, I'll put one either above or below the first set of screws, another one in the middle, and then a third one either side of the bottom screws. So it's fairly, so there's like a fairly consistent leveling up of that neck. So it might need a shim, it might not, but check the bridge first. That would be your first port of call, I would suggest. Lewis Wingrove, I need those. Do you have a size 38? What are we talking about? Oh, his special pants. Yes, very good. See you. Not very much height adjustment. In that case, yes, you're probably going to need to shim the neck. But like I say, sometimes like a business card will do. And it's amazing how even something very thin can make quite a radical difference. But like an old credit card, I cut chunks of them. This might not be a credit card. It might be like an old musicians union card or an AA breakdown card or whatever. But you can get sort of consistent pieces and fit them in in the neck pocket and go from there. Magic pants, yes, they are very special, Lewis. Like yourself, Patrick, very special. Steve BBB, good to see you. Hope you're well. I don't know who you are. I'm guessing you're new to the channel, so you're very welcome. Good to see you. KCC base, Kev, I have the tilt adjustment screw in a 92 US Modern Jazz Kabiki, and it is complete pain in the ass. Unfortunately, that's what micro adjustments were all about. They seemed like a good idea at the time, but they can be a real... So for anyone that doesn't know what we're talking about, so on early Music Man basses, mid to late 70s jazz Fender basses that had 3 bolt necks, you would have a screw hole on the back, very thin, and basically there was an extra screw that would go through. It's like a grub screw, and it would push the end of the fingerboard up, because what happens with a truss rod, certainly where the bullet or the adjustment point is at the top of the neck, it tends to stop working around about here on the neck. Sorry, you can't see the whole base. It tends to stop working here. So the idea of the micro tilt was to push the end of the fingerboard up to meet the strings. So if there was various adjustments going on or the neck was moving about, you could move those end frets so that it was consistent. But it's just another thing to be adjusted. A bit like having adjustment screws in a nut, like we have on Alembics and Warwicks with their adjuster nuts. And then, yeah, dual truss rods, one for each side of the fingerboard. It gets crazy, but it is what it is. But I do get it, Kev. Yeah, the tilt adjustment screw. In some cases, it can be really helpful. In some cases, it's just a big pain in the ass. Steve BBB, untapered can damage the heel and or pocket. Thank you for the heads up, Steve. Cool. So, see you. Listen to Steve BBB. Okay, used a piece of sandpaper. No, don't do that. Like I say, you want harder material. Sandpaper's with grit on the underside. That's not really what you want using. Like I say, you can buy bags of pre-cut sheets, so that might be worth looking at. Lewis Ringrove, I would ask, did you check the neck for straightness before intonation, since we are so critical about the angle of the dangle? Exactly. But again, a lot of people get put off with the doing truss rod and neck relief and all that kind of thing. So, Lewis, are you talking about what CU is asking, or are you talking about the intonation thing I was talking about before? Patrick Sweeney, to be serious, IEMs, I use Sennheiser receiver and transmitter with ZS10 Pros, as I do, Patrick. Well done. What does everyone else use, or do you use floor monitoring? No, I use those in-ears. I think I've got a Sennheiser receiver. Yeah, I have. G3. Intonation before, Lewis. Yeah, so are we talking about what I was talking about with the guy that was sending rude messages, or are we talking about what CU's friend has got the problem with the Jackson bass? I'll wait for you to reply, Lewis. I'll grab a quick drink. Cheers, everyone. The rude guy. Well, he was commenting about the Lakeland video that I did a couple of months back. So the bass is over there. Its intonation hasn't changed. It was set up on the workbench. I set it up flat on the workbench, did all the adjustments, got it in tune. Everything was cool, fine, no problems. This Charlie came onto my channel today, watched that video, and basically claimed that there's no way that bass could have correct intonation if I'd set it up laid flat on a workbench. The only way to get it correctly was to put it on its side and adjust it while it's like that instead of like that. No, I don't believe in the rubbish he was coming out with. That's the point. That's the issue. I thought he was talking absolute codswallop. So there we go. Kev, C-Bass. I have an Elite P and a J with the Music Man style truss rod adjustment, and that is mighty fine. Fender upset Music Man though, and they came out with the Ultra. Took the technology backwards and added dollars. Isn't that always the way? Yeah, I hear you. Lewis, I got his proof right there, sir. Are you saying that guy's right, Lewis? Hear me out a second, please. Go for it. I'm waiting. While you're writing your reply, my point on it is, if I set it up flat on my workbench, tuning is correct and the intonation is correct, why, if I put that bass on, is it then not going to have correct intonation? Because I've set it up when the bass was laying flat. Explain that to me. I don't get it. I've been playing, what did I say? 36 years. I've always set basses up laid flat. Don't set them up in the position as if I was playing it. You can, and I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm not saying that's wrong at all. But to come onto a video and say that doing it laid flat is wrong and go absolutely apoplectic about it doesn't make any sense to me. Kev C bass, the neck screws are loose. We're talking about the Ultra, are we? Lewis, no, because if the strings move from flat to player position, the intonation will be off on playing position if the strings move right. Flat is the most accurate by my thoughts. Sorry, no, because if the strings move from flat to player position, yeah, the intonation will be off on the playing position if the strings move right. So flat is the most accurate by my thoughts. I've done over 4,000 gigs. I've done lots of recording sessions. I've never had an engineer in either situation or environment say my intonation was off. So on that basis, I'll carry on setting it up with the basses laid flat. Strings don't move on the flat. Well, like I'm saying, if I set a bass up and the bass is laid flat, when I then play it in playing position, it isn't out of tune and the intonation hasn't changed. So my point is, there's a way to, if you don't agree with a point in the video, and I'm always happy to listen to someone tell me I'm wrong, I have no problem with that, but to come on my channel and lambast what I've said and what I've done and act like they are high and mighty, I don't take well to that. So anyway, don't worry, you won't be seeing that guy on the channel. String moves during the upright more than flat. Well, I'll tell you what, next workshop video I do, I'll check this and we'll bring this back up and we'll check it, yeah? And then it's on camera. Yeah, I mean, but I'm sure there are millions of videos on YouTube of people doing this, so we will check. Martin Fay, it's very easy to test, just need an accurate tuner to demonstrate facts versus express an opinion. Correct. That's what I'll do. I'll do it with about 3 different tuners, and yeah, there we go. We'll do it. Next workshop video, I will do that for you, gang, and we'll get to the bottom of it. But there's a way to say or explain that something isn't right. Don't come on to my channel and cause a scene. I think the guy was just looking for an argument and I wasn't going to give it to him. So yeah. So if the strings are dangling in player position, how can it be more accurate? It's making intonation more accurate on flat. I don't know, Lewis. I don't know. But like I say, lots of people on Dave's Worlds of Fun stuff give him a hard time about all this. And, you know, like I say, surely the proof is in the pudding. If you're on a session and your intonation was out, the engineer or producer would hear it. I've never had it. Never had a problem with that. So, Kev Seabase, are you referring to the pluck as a classical guitarist would aim to get the string to oscillate and not move from side to side? I don't know, Kev. Basically, the guy came on my channel and was saying that the way I was setting the intonation was totally wrong. Why was I wasting my time doing that? And I shouldn't spread lies on YouTube that was a correct way to do it, amongst other expletives. So as a result, I hid him from the channel. Lila Hale, good to see you. I don't think you've been here on the channel before, but nice to see you. Good. If you watch recent Roger Waters live, do you think he actually plays his bass? He seems to hold it, but then puts it down mid-song. I haven't checked out any Roger Waters lately. Anyone else here on the channel care to answer Lila? I have heard a few comments about his bass playing in recent times, but maybe one of the fine people here on the channel will have watched one of his recent performances and might be able to elaborate a bit further for you, Lila. Kev Seabase, still can't see it. Lewis Wingrove, I believe that flat is better than playing position for intonation. Jeff Davis, I think the solution is to play gigs lying down on stage. Well, I can go with that, Jeff. Yes, well said, sir. I did do that a few times in my my earlier years. Not necessarily from too much alcohol, actually just for the fun and larks that we used to have on stage when I played in a glam rock tribute band. Haven't done it in a very long time though, I should say. But yeah, Jeff, I don't know if you've been here on the channel before. I don't recognise you as having been here before, but very welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for checking us out. So this is Brooks's Bass Corner. I'm Mike Brooks. It's what's the time? Coming up to 10 to 9 here in London in the UK. Very welcome. If you've got any questions about bass guitars, amps, effects, accessories, cleaning stuff, workshop videos, anything to do with bass guitars, leave a comment or a question in the live chat box. As soon as I see it there, I will respond to it. Just check that I'm getting everything through. Yeah, I think so. Lewis, a bigger chance of increasing accuracy in the flat over sideways if he believes the gravity is a factor. That was his point, was gravity. His own statement has his answers if he's looking further away. Excellent. See, this is what I like. Technical explanations. Well done, Lewis. Good man. But there we are. Got any questions about these rather fine GBs behind me? Feel free to ask. If I can answer any questions, I'm more than happy to do so. No, I'm up to date on everything there, I think. I will quickly announce that tonight's live chat is probably going to finish around about 10:30, so in about an hour and 40 minutes. The reason being, I'm going to my father-in-law's funeral tomorrow. Got a few things to do. Going to bed tonight and very early in the morning. Normally we would just go on for hours and hours. About 5 hours and 15 minutes. We won't be going that long tonight. So around about 10:30, in about an hour and 40 minutes, we'll wind down and call it a night. But we're good to go for another hour and 40 minutes. So feel free to put your questions and comments in the live chat window, and I'll do my best to answer as many as I can. I think the Wi-Fi is causing a bit of a problem. I look like I'm on a Lego screen at the moment. Oh, there we go. That's a bit better. Message: Juice, better to stack 2 cabs of same speaker size, or better to stack 2 cabs of same speaker size, or traditional 210 to 115? Well, stacking of cabs depends what you want, depends on the room you're playing in, and depends on the stage you're playing on. So if, like I had last Friday, I was playing on a hollow stage. Bass amp was on the stage. Bass frequencies were going down and out across the dance floor. Loads of bass end. Bass amp wasn't particularly loud. It was taking all the frequencies down through the stage and out. So my best advice for you is, if you don't have any monitoring and you're relying on your backline in terms of what you're going to hear, you kind of want to get a cabinet, if not both, up a bit so you can hear it. If you have cabinets on the floor, you're not going to, you'll feel it, but you won't necessarily hear it. For years, when I had one 4x10 cabinet, that seems like a long time ago, I used to always raise it up, whether it was on a flight case, some chairs, a table, whatever. As I ended up with more cabs, if I had like a 410 and a 210, or a 212 and a 210, I'd always have that 10 higher up so that I was getting something that I could hear, and the lower cab would give me more of what I was feeling. As times have changed and I've moved over to in-ears a lot of the time, sometimes now I'll have 2 cabinets, usually Aguilar SL212s. I can't tilt the camera, but Aguilar SL212s are my cabinets of choice. Sometimes I'll have them both on the floor next to each other and then an amplifier on top. But again, if it's a festival stage and I need more oomph and I'm not going on ears, or I've got no monitoring, or I might even have monitoring but I still want some volume and some clarity that I can hear, I might stack 2 cabs. And sometimes I've even, with the SL212s, because they're thinner but higher, whereas I used to use EBS that were wider and shorter. With the Aguilars, I sometimes stack them on their side. So basically, as 212s, I'm getting 2 and 2, as opposed, 2 and 2, as opposed to 2 and 2. And sometimes that works quite well. But it just, you got to evaluate each gig differently. Different venues. Gig on Friday, loads of shiny surfaces, wooden floor, no soft furnishings to soak anything up. The gig the night before, didn't matter, I was on in-ears, but had I had amplification with me, there was loads of soft furnishings and no hard surfaces, shiny surfaces. So my EQing situation would have been quite different. Just got to evaluate each gig. You'll learn how over time, you will learn which cabinets, positioning, how you want to do it. You learn it as you do more and more gigs. Let's see, Kev Mac, good to see you. Milk crates always worked for me with a 410. I remember those days. Yes, sir. Thank you, Kev. Sorry for the loss. Thank you. Yeah, It's 3 weeks since he passed. Tomorrow will be a very emotional day. We've been to the Chapel of Rest today, and yeah, I don't want to bring the live chat down, so it's okay. But yeah, we're getting there. Jeff Davis, yes, been here before, Mike. Good, thank you. I had a question kind of answered by Neil Fairclough recently, but you had that terrible echo delay thing going on, if you remember. Yeah, and my question was lost, really. Ask it again. Maybe I might know the answer. Lewis, I'm definitely interested in 4x10 or 15 for dry tone. Opinions on the wet line. I'm thinking 12 inches for wet tone wise, for wet tone wise talking. Okay. Thing with speakers, Lewis, it's once you get your head around that different speakers perform differently and how they work, as you know, because you worked in car audio for ages, you then work out what your best combination is. So you're talking 410s and 15s there. See, I was a big advocate for 10s, never been a fan of 15s, but have moved over to 12s. So with 12s that have also got a tweeter in the cabinet, you're getting the clarity and the punch and the quickness of a 10, but with some added rounded bottom end from the 12. So when I first moved over to 12, so I was going from a EBS Pro line 410s, which weighed a ton, to an EBS Neo 212. I compared the cabinets next to each other. So Neo cabs, by sheer design, the nature of that design, sound different. You can't get away from that. However, I didn't feel, when I compared a 410 with a 212, both EBS, one Pro line and heavy, one Neo and light, both had great punch, great clarity, but the EBS cabs with their tweeters you could dial in so much clarity that you weren't losing anything in having a 212, which you would naturally have from a 410. If I put a 210 against a 212, you're going to hear far more of the bass roundedness that I'm talking about from the 12s compared to the 210. But then if you went to a 412, and heaven forbid carrying one of them, you're going to get everything. So if 15s are your thing, Lewis, you might want to consider 12s. And in fact, you may find having a 212 or a 412 might be the perfect compromise of not requiring 10s and a 15. Maybe, I don't know. Depends what you're going to use it all for, and where you're going to be playing. In terms of manufacturer, well, it's how much do you want to spend, really. I'm very happy with Aguilar stuff. EBS stuff's great. Not a big fan of Mark bass. Some people are. I'm personally not. There's loads of second-hand gear. Do you want new or second-hand? I know you're a bit of an Ampeg fan as well, Lewis. So again, see what they've got. If you go second-hand, you're going to get a lot more value for money. The problem I've always had with, if you buy speakers second-hand, you don't know if they've been trashed, played excessively, or what. So buying new is usually the better thing to do with a speaker, but depends what your funds are like, mate. But I think if you tried the Aguilar stuff, I think you'd be very impressed and very happy. Where you are in the US, you're going to get Aguilar stuff a lot cheaper than we get it here in the UK. But literally all what I consider the great bass amplification manufacturers are based in the US. So, you know, fill your boots, Lewis. Great advice. I like that explanation. Of course, Mesa Boogie as well. Yeah. It's up to you. I mean, I've never used a lot of Mesa Boogie cabs. I've had few for review, and I did one when we did a speaker test. Cool. Now that's going back 2007, maybe. 2007. I think we did 1x12 speaker test at Bass Guitar Magazine, and I played a couple of Mesa Boogie cabs in that. And then I had the Neo cabs when the Class D amp came out, which was 2015. But other than that, I've never really played through a lot of Mesa Boogie stuff. So You know, go and try it. If you can find a place that's got a good selection of different manufacturers and line those cabs up with the amp you're going to use, and then you'll hear the differences. That's the only way really to do it, I find. Sometimes I have a privileged position, or I did, working for the magazine, because sometimes we would get a whole load of gear in at once and you could just line them all up and just take the amp, plug it in, try it. All right, okay. To next amp, try that next cab, try it again. Oh, okay, I can hear some differences there, and do it that way. Kev Mac, SWR has treated me well, the old stuff anyway. Well, I've got an SWR Super Redhead combo that's going to be sitting where that GB Rumor 5 is. Bought it a couple of months back. It's just sat in the garage at the moment. It will be coming out. There will be some videos of me reviewing it, demoing it, running different basses through it. So keep your eyes open for that. I was always a big admirer of SWR, and probably the time when I would have got on to that SWR train, they've been bought up by Fender and closed down. So it didn't really happen for me. Lewis Wingrove, Eminence speakers are my favourite so far. Cool. Okay. Kev Seabase, getting old now, so bareface BB 112 horn and ×2 fits the bill. I hear you, Kev. Martin Fay, I saw Dave Swift play a few months back rocking a Bergantino rig, and it sounded lush. Bergantino gear is fabulous. It really is. Very nice stuff. Lewis Wingrove, Sun amps are back. Yeah, I've seen them appearing, as are acoustic, but they've been back a number of years, so that's not new news for me. Right, I need to do the on the hour preamble. So, welcome to Brooks's Bass Corner. Someone's just appeared. Graham, good to see you. Hope you're well. So, Brooks's Bass Corner, I'm Mike Brooks. It is 9 o'clock here in London town. Tuesday nights, regular live chat here on Brooks's Bass Corner. If you've not been on a live chat before, you're very welcome. Good to see you. If you've been on the channel before, or even if you haven't, thank you for joining in. Thanks for taking the time to come on to the live chat tonight. If you've not done this before, this is the video window. Directly below, if you're on the mobile app, Visog, good to see you. If you're on the mobile app, the live chat window is directly below. If you're on the desktop version, it's that way. Put your mouse, cursor or pointer, whichever you want to call it, in the live chat window. Type your comment or question, press send. It appears here on my chat window. I can see it and I'll respond to it. In the live chat window at the bottom, you'll see an emoji icon. Feel free to give that an absolute pummeling and a leathering. It shows the YouTube algorithm that you get involved in the chat and that you're enjoying it. Next to it is a dollar symbol that allows you to make a financial contribution to the channel if you wish to do so. Watching the videos is free, doesn't cost you anything. If you want to see the channel keep going and keep it progressing, if you wish to make a financial donation, you can do so. What does that money go towards? It goes towards the lights and the pedals and the cameras and the stands and the leads and all of this stuff that you see reviewed and demoed, and the cleaning materials for the workshop videos and studio time and all of that. It's none of it comes here for free. I have to buy it all. That's the way it works. So if you make a financial contribution, allow me to say in advance, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. It also helps with the YouTube algorithm. So if you're new to the channel, you've not been here before, please feel free to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell and choose all, so you get all notifications when I post up new videos and put new content up. And also please give the video a thumbs up if you'd be so kind. Also, that helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you've got any comments, feel free to leave them in the comments box. If you're watching this video after the event and the live chat window's closed, you can still enter the conversation, leave comments, and I'll come back to you as soon as I get a notification from YouTube that you've left a comment. That's the way it works. That's cool. Underneath the video window, you'll see a row of icons. You've got the thumbs up, as we've discussed. There's a thumbs down if you don't enjoy the video or the channel, but if you're going to do that, please leave a comment. Tell me what you don't like. I can't make it better if you don't tell me. There's also a share button that allows you to share the video out to a website, email, or social media platforms. There's the shop button that allows you to see Brooks's Bass Corner merch. You should also see underneath this video window what we call the merch shelf. So there should be various items of Brooks's Base Corner merchandise already there. You can buy directly from there, or you can go via merchandise store links that are in the description box below. You'll also see a save button, and also next to, I think it's next to the save button in the row, you'll see a love heart with a dollar symbol in. That's called Super Thanks. It works exactly the same as Super Chat in the live chat window. It just, again, allows you to make a financial contribution to the channel on any video. Every video here on the channel is monetized because we're a monetized channel. So if you want to help the channel, feel free to make a financial contribution. So in the description box under the video, you'll find merchandise links. There's a UK and Europe store and a US and worldwide store. Up until Sunday of this week, 1 minute to midnight going into Monday morning, all merchandise has free delivery on it. So if you wish to buy t-shirts, mouse mats, mugs, if that's your thing, Brooks's Base Corner mug, Brooks's Base Corner t-shirt, mouse mats, phone cases, iPad cases, water bottles, beer glasses, anything. It's all free delivery this week. So if you buy a load of stuff, you're not going to see the delivery costs going up and up and up and up and up. So if you buy a big chunk of merch, it's probably the cheapest way to do it. You're not going to have any shipping costs on it. So that's the merchandise. Underneath that, you'll find affiliate sales links for Thomann, Amazon, Gear for Music, and Andertons. So if you've got any bass-related purchases coming up, a new bass, a new amp, speaker, covers for your gear, gig bag, cables, pedals, strings, picks, cleaning materials, you can help the channel. We get a small affiliate commission. If you click on one of the retailer links, find the item you want, add it to your basket, go through with the purchase. Once you do so, the channel receives a small, and I mean really small, affiliate commission, but it all helps keep the channel going. Underneath the affiliate links, you'll find social media links, and you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, which is now called X, Threads, Be Real, Discord, Reddit, Quora, and TikTok. Done the big sell. There we go. We get back to the messages. Kev, however, had some really good stage sound from a preamp into the board and a good monitor back at me. Basically, FR. You're talking in tongues, Kev. What's that? FR. Nah, don't know. Visog, good evening. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Hope everything's good with you. Lewis, sounds like might like an 8x12 better on the dry tongue. I don't envy you moving that. You might want 2 4x12s maybe, Lewis. Man, that description was spot on what I've been looking for. No wonder why I actually like the Ampeg 12 combo. 8 have. I did try the Boss Katana bass combo. It's better than the Ampeg in my opinion. Okay. As a starting point, it's a fact. Okay. Mum, I'm so excited to get your mug. Okay, well, there's the mug for you. There's a mug for Barry and your t-shirts here as well. Patrick Sweeney, I use a Barefaced Big Twin 3, lightweight and powerful. Excellent. Flat frequency response. There you go. I've not had any Barefaced stuff for review. I need to get onto them and get some amplification in here. Test it out. We will do that at some point. I don't know when, but we will at some point. Very good. There we are. It's 10 past 9. We've got another hour and 20 minutes this evening. Just topping up the old drink here. Very good. Anyone bought any new gear? Any new pedals, new basses? Last thing I bought, I think. No, lies. Last thing I bought was this Poly Blue Octave pedal, MXR. But just before that, I bought this little beast, which is a Harley Benton Marquis 4-string, which was part of a special deal they were doing at Thomann to celebrate 25 years of selling Harley Benton products. And this was part of a very cheap deal. And having reviewed one, it was actually this and its 5-string brother were the very last basses I wrote reviews of for Bass Player magazine before the magazine went under as a publication and became an online entity. Unfortunately, Harley Benton and Thomann never got to see those reviews. I've still got them. To my mind, possibly the greatest value 4-string and 5-string basses I've ever played in my life. And that's saying something. I reviewed over 500 basses over the years, and these were excellent. The one I got has some issues, but I didn't send it back because I knew it was going to be a pain in the backside. But it could be to do with the bridge spacing, or it could be to do with the pickups, but they don't pass over the poles correctly, as you can see. It's all a bit haphazard. And one of the pickup poles is tarnished. I don't know if it's rust or something else. But anyway, it plays fine. Not quite as striking in the grain department as I'd hoped for. And certainly the ones I had for review were astounding. But anyway, for £128, I wasn't complaining. It sounds great, plays great. I've been using it for when I've been running songs at home for practice before gigs. So once these strings are worn out, and I hate these strings, this will be going on the workbench and getting a full setup. New strings, new everything. But it plays pretty good. It can be improved, I can assure you. But for £128, it was good value for money, put it that way. It might be a competition prize further down the line, we will see. But anyway, nothing too much to complain about. See, a load of messages have popped up. Hold on there. Loose Wingrove, that explains it as well then. Damn, when did I start liking the flat response? Kev Seabass, Alex at Bareface, a very knowledgeable guy and used to write for one of the bass mags. Yeah, us. On acoustics and speaker design. Worth a trip to Brighton, or I'm sure he would call in as a guest. Okay. Juice, just picked up a Dingwall Combustion 5. Very good. Well done. And loving it. I'm not surprised. I have a Dingwall NG2 5 right over there. Lewis, I blame Britain for my newfound flat response. Those tannoy speakers are perfect. Not rowdy, but perfect. Cool. Kev Mac, I bought a couple of Harley Benton basses and they're great. Bangs for the buck, I'll say. Yeah. Yeah, if anyone wants to see those demo videos, they're here on the channel already. So it's basically a Marquis 4 and a Marquis 5. I can put links in the live chat if you want the links directly. Otherwise, just go into the channel, go to the Soundbites playlist, or you can search for Harley Benton. And there are demo videos there already of those two basses. Sadly, you can't buy the 5-string anymore. It's been discontinued, but the 4 is still there. Visog, I like the way you can go from an alembic to budget basses without getting hung up on the branding. Bass is a bass. Take each one on its merits. This is a perfect example of a very cheap bass that when I pulled it out of the box, when we got the review models, I looked at it and went, oh, here we go. I thought I knew. And I always say to myself, don't assume you know anything, because you don't. Until you pull the bass out, plug it in and start playing it, you don't know anything. And it was a perfect example, both the 4 and the 5. I just looked at them and thought, I know what's coming. I know what they're going to be. And I couldn't have been more wrong. They sound absolutely fabulous, really powerful, good active EQ. The ones that came for review were immaculate and perfect. I don't know quite what's gone on here with the pickups and the bridge. I don't know why they're not passing over the pickup poles correctly, but it is what it is. But once I played them and I'd reviewed them, I did come to the conclusion they were the best 4 and 5 string basses I'd ever play. And when I reviewed them, they were, I think, about £279. So you can imagine how happy I was to buy one of these for 128. So even greater value for money. And actually, it was already in my head to buy one for a review video and more content here on the channel. So the fact it came up at 128, I was like, yeah, I'm having one of those. I did want the blue one, but that wasn't part of the deal, apparently. But yeah, I'm happy to go from an alembic to a budget bass. No problem at all. On live chats in the past, I often refer back to a Squire Jazz, which was Daphne Blue and tortoiseshell scratch plate, which I reviewed at the gallery in London, in Camden, in August 2019. It was published in the magazine, I think, just as we went in a lockdown, so in 2020. That bass, you can still buy it. I think it's the classic 60s vibe jazz. At the time, it was £341. In that store that day were many jazz basses of different pedigree. There were custom shop Fender jazz basses. There were second-hand, obviously vintage models. They carry loads of those at the gallery. And this bass blew them all out of the water, in my opinion. I would rather have played that Squire than some of the custom shops that were there, which actually sounded horrendously dead. They had no resonance in the neck or the body. They didn't react to how you played them. They were just slabs of wood. Didn't sound particularly good. But this Squire was bang on what I'd want a jazz bass to sound like. And then again, you could go in there and pick up another of exactly the same model, and it might not have played remotely like the one I reviewed. But that's the joy of budget basses. You could play 10 of the same. None of them will be the same, or sound the same, or feel the same. If you find a good budget bass that sounds good, speaks to you, and reacts to your playing, buy it. Worst thing, you're going to sell it. And sometimes you may just find it just blows all your other basses out of the water. So, you know, I have no problem going from an alembic to a budget bass ever. That's not a problem to me. Anyway, Kev Smith, good to see you. When I play my Chowney short scale with flats, it seems to have a deeper tone when used with a pick. Hang on, I'm missing a bit there. Let's do that again. When I play my Chowney short scale, okay, with flats, it seems to give a deeper tone when used with a pick. Are flats best used with a pick? Well, you're going to get more of a percussive effect because when I say percussive, the attack of the downstroke or the upstroke of the pick, because as a short scale bass, you've got less speaking length of the string. So you're already compromising the tone you're going to get. It's going to be not muted, but it's going to be very rounded with not a lot of high transient in the frequencies. So if you're playing it with flats, you're going to get a really bassy tone. And again, the actual frequencies are going to be quite muted from it. Just, it's natural physics. You can't get away from it. So if you use a pick, suddenly you're adding a little more attack and brightness to the tone. So if that's working for you, go with it, mate. Go with it. You know, there's no right or wrong. It depends what tone you're after, what band you're playing in, what music you're playing. But if that is what works best with that bass for you, go for it. Absolutely. Martin Fay, congrats, Juice. The combustions are lovely to play. Correct. Lewis Wingrove, well said, Visog. Thank you. Patrick Sweeney, I like having the choice of a speaker cab on stage or coming out of a preamp if space is tight. I have a custom painted baffle. There's a cream you can get for that. I have a custom painted baffle on my BT3 as offered by Barefaced, and it looks cool. See, this is where the live chats fall down, because YouTube don't give you an option to send pictures. I'd like to see your custom painted baffle. Kev Mac, Benton bases are great modding platforms. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'd like to get to the bottom of whether it's the pickup or the bridge that's at fault here with the spacing. And it may well get different pickups with different bridge in it at some point. Also, very regulars to the channel know I hate this. Pickup routing is shocking on this. It wasn't on the review models I had. Excessive space around the pickups. And actually on this, where the P pickup is, it's not even a clean cut. Let's see if you can see it. Up here. You might be able to see it, or you might not. It's not even a clean cut. There we go. Swings and roundabouts. But it plays great, sounds great. But the strings it came with, awful. But I'm killing them off rapidly. So yeah, that's the latest bass purchase here at Brooks Towers. The princely sum of £128. It didn't break the bank. Yes. So for the regulars who have now turned up, if you're unaware, we have some new merchandise, guys. If you weren't on last week's live chat or the week before, you won't have seen any of this. So I have a new range. I'm not turning into a fashion designer, so don't worry. So I have these now, t-shirts and mugs that are basically part of a series called the Bass Legend Quote range. So you can see the names at the bottom. We've got Mark King and Chris Squire. So all of us on social media get bombarded with fake, unofficial merchandise, t-shirts, mugs, this, that, and the other. So I had someone ask me, how can you produce these? How come you're allowed to produce these? I'll explain it. So basically, when I used to write for Bass Guitar Magazine and Bass Player, I retained copyright of any content that I wrote. So when I did interviews, the magazine had the content for the publishing, but the actual legal copyright ownership reverts to me after publication. So I own the copyright on the interviews that I did, which is great. Lovely. Thank you, Joel, for putting that in my contract. So, however, quotations, whether they be from someone famous or someone, your next door neighbor, or you have to get permission from those people to use any quote, whether it's on paid merchandise or not. So thankfully, I remain on very good terms with probably all but two of the people I ever interviewed. And so the first four people are Mark King, Chris Squire, Nathan East, and Leland Sklar. Now, obviously, Chris Squire has passed away, so I couldn't get permission from him directly. I did get permission from the other three. I emailed all three of them. They all came back with a, Mike, if you want to do some merchandise, you go for it. No problem. So I sent an email to the Squire family and their estate. No one replied. Now, if any of their representatives ever turn around and say, we want you to take that down and don't produce any more, I have no problem with that. However, at the moment, you can buy these t-shirts and mugs. That's all there is, mugs and t-shirts. I haven't put it on anything else. So, as I said, there's one here from Chris Squire from June 2014. There's a Mark King one from July 2017. Then there's a Nathan East one from 2014 and a Leland Sklar one from 2016. So if you want to check these out, you can do so. I don't think they're going to be showing up on the merch shelf, but they might. Otherwise, go to the links in the description box for the merch. Go through to the stores, pick the design you want, whichever one you want. Then decide if it's going on a t-shirt or a mug, colour, size, add it to your basket. Click on the redeem button so you get free shipping between now and Sunday this week, and they can be yours. So check them out. Let's have a look here. My sister, all you big spender, you. Yes, quite. Lewis Wingrove, I use Schecter for modification projects. Okay, at 500, I don't think it's any better or worse than most brands. In America, it's Indonesia, manufacturing by Court Guitars for all brands under £1,800. Wow, $1,800. That fact made me fall in love with Fenders from Mexico. Not bad, very nice guitars. No, I've got a few here actually. David May, good to see you. Hello from Cuba on vacation. Oh, very nice. Well done. Yes, Lewis, I have a couple of Mexican Fenders. In fact, this one. This Fender FSR Precision. FSR standing for Fender Special Release, which is basically a 70s Precision. Black side neck. Yeah, binding, I guess. The pickup is the real deal on this. Sounds amazing. Lovely bit of ash, of course. Weighs a bit, but it sounds great. With a particularly gnarly set of Rotor Sound 4505 swing bass strings. David May, have I heard of Aria guitars? I certainly have. Oh yes, I'm a big John Taylor fan. Grew up listening to Aria guitars. They were everywhere in the 80s. I've got an Aria SB1000 right over there. Reviewed quite a lot of Arias over the years too. Norman and Lutherie are good quality guitars. I don't know those. Are they American brands? Canadian. No, I've never come across any of those. Never had any for review when I was at the magazine. Educate me. Tell me more about them. Lewis Wingrove, Japanese is super cool with guitars, but one thing I found is in America it's a total disaster getting new bone nuts and various oddball parts. The Mexican Strat is a bitch on pickguard replacements. Yeah, scratch plates is always a nightmare, especially with Fender stuff. Oh my days. Trying to make sure you get the right one. Nightmare. Usually it's best just to find someone that will cut a scratch plate for you. Buy the blank, take it to them, give them the old one to use as the foundation, if you like, and do it that way. That way you get the holes drilled in the right places. Well, and you get the cutouts correct as well. So we're getting new strings soon, I swear. Lewis, yes, exactly, 100% correct on that one, sir. Thank you. You can tell I've bought them before, can't you? And then it arrives in the post and you go to put it on and find the holes are just like 2 millimeters out each time. Lakeland is the same for scratch plates. The holes always seem to be in different places. I know. Just standardise, guys. If you move your production to a different factory in a different company, doesn't mean the you know, where the holes are drilled should be the same. It shouldn't be any different. I don't know why companies make it so bloody difficult. Godin is also a good Canadian guitar. Yes, very au fait with Godins. I very nearly had one of their A4s and an A5 at one point. And then when I found some at a very good price, I didn't have the money to do it, sadly. Fender finally got smart and sell a plate with no mounting holes, but everything else is ready. Countersink holes only needed. Yeah. Or you can do it the Bernie Goodfellow way, which is, you'll love this, Lewis. I think you might have seen this before or not. So, I know some people on the channel have seen me do this. So basically, Bernie, on this Spitfire, which is his version of a Jazz, although don't be fooled by the pickups, they're humbuckers. So that scratch plate has no screws. So how does it stay on? Basically, it's cut so tight that the position of the pickup keeps it in position. So in a minute, he says, then I go to do it and I can't do it. Just need to get, I've got no nails at the moment. There we are, got it. Right, so you can all watch while I'm doing it. Off comes the plate. And some of you may have seen me play this over the years without the plate on. So we get that, which isn't a bad look, clearly. And then you want to put it back on. It's easy enough. Under the strings. Slot it over the pickup. Ready? Press it on. It's back on. There's no gaffer tape. There's nothing. No glue. No screws. That's how that works. Works for me. Yeah, where do we go? Kev Smith, Mike, how's the Jive Fretless coming along? I know what you're intimating, Kev. Well, I've had my hands a bit full with family issues for a couple of months. So the Fretless hasn't even come out of the bag. But that will be kicking off very soon. I've got some of the scripts for some of the videos ready to go. So I've just got to actually physically get the bass out and start practicing and filming while I go along. So stay tuned, Kevin Smith. Those videos will appear. It's just family issues. Family health and illness has basically knocked this year skew whiff, shall we say. Everything was going along quite swimmingly until February, and then with the dog passing away, and then my father-in-law getting very ill, and we've been sort of managing his situation in the family. My plans for the channel have all kind of gone on hold, but it'll come back. Family and health come first, not unfortunately. That's just the way it has to be. But keep an eye out, Kev. That stuff will appear. Patrick Sweeney, there's a guy in Scotland called the Pickguard guy who's good. I do tend to send up the old Pickguard just to make sure. There used to be a guy on eBay called Daz Bootman. He was based in the States, and he literally had pickguards for every single guitar and bass that had ever been made up to that point. And he was great. I bought a load of his scratch plates. Actually, I'll show you the abalone one from that I have on my Stingray. And he did all these plates. And then when I went to buy some more a year or two later, he'd either changed what he was called on eBay or had just packed it all in. So he did this plate for me. So it looks like a seashell. So he did that plate, which I love. Fits in nicely with the teal finish. But yeah. Yeah, Martin, how clever is that? Bernie's full of good ideas. Kev Mack, the finish on that jazz bass looks great without a pickguard. Always love the look. Yeah, that's not a jazz. That's a GB Guitars Spitfire, which is Bernie's take on a jazz bass, but far different from a jazz in terms of sound, how it plays, how it feels. Juice, that pickguard idea is up there with the magnetic battery covers. Bernie, I can't guarantee was the inventor of magnetic pickup covers, but he definitely was doing that sort of stuff quite a while ago. There's another thing with that bass. Not enough stands this week, Michael John. So there's something else with that bass. Let me show you. While he batters his alembic with a stingray. Not a good idea. Right. So at the time that Bernie made this, so it was 2005, he was coming up with loads of little inventions, I guess you could call them. So he had one that was would give you like almost like a bass drum, so you could practice, and you'd get a doof, doof, like a metronome effect from the bass. But anyway, this one has the tuner. So basically, if you hit that yellow button, it gives you a G. I think it is. It's up. Yeah, it's the G. What did he call it? It's like the G note or whatever he called it. Anyway, you click that, it makes a tone through the signal. So you'll get a whatever G is. You'll get that come through. Allows you to tune your G string to that tone. And then you can tune all your other strings using harmonics or fifth fret tuning, whatever you want to do. But Bernie had loads of those little ideas, and some basses had all the ideas in them. So you'd flip a bass over and it would have loads of little buttons and things going on. But check them out. GB Guitars, based in Brighton. Lewis Wingrove, I've completed all original paint to new like status. Remove the neck and level and polish all frets. Shave the fine edges of neck feel on the Mexican Strat. I'm waiting for my pickups. Well done. You've been a busy boy, Lewis. Kev Mack, it's gorgeous, whatever the name. Spitfire. Yep. So the Jazz GBs are called Spitfires. The older ones were called Standards. So that's that. The other model is the Rumor, which is what you see behind me. So that's a 5, and here's a 4. So it's a 4-string Rumor, an ex-demo model. Bought it for my 50th birthday 2 years ago. Last year, sorry. We're talking about last year. It's got the sound to light controller in it, so we get all the LEDs and stuff. You can get it to one of the settings where they start moving. There we go. If you like all that sort of thing. We have that one which has like a pulse running through it. There's loads of settings. It generally needs me to be hooked up to an amp and a speaker for you to see all the bits and bobs it does. Or you can just have them turned on, which is no bad thing. There we go. How'd you like that? So that's a Rumor 4. There we go. Very good. Graham, G-Spot. Yep, that's it. Good old Bernie. Martin Fay called it the G-Spot. There we are. Lewis, my buddy Eric is taking forever on a darn decision on pickups. Tell him to pull his finger out. Needs to get a move on then, doesn't he? Yeah, look at the bird's eye on that. So, oh no, it is, depends when the light's on it. It's a great bass. I actually saw it when it was finished being made And even though it was made for someone else and they were coming to pick it up, I said to Bernie, I'm going to buy that one day. He said, I doubt it. That guy's never going to sell it. Lo and behold, 4 years later, the guy had already sold it to someone else and I was buying it off that guy. It's out of tune. Thank you. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Quite the looker. Yeah. Demo videos of both of those are already on the channel if you want to check them out. Soundbite demo playlist, you'll find both of those there. What have we got here? Lewis, it's him. I'm trying to get the stock pickups out of it. They're almost 90% unicorn rainbow sounds of the 83 Strat. Just missing the magic voodoo of those. So naturally I want those. I hear you. Then my sister, Mike, what was your first ever bass? Black Sparkle Marlin Sidewinder, bought in January 1988. Sold. Sold in May 1990. Was it black or pink? It was black. The pink one's here. That's a Kubicki X Factor, now fretless over there. Having a convo with your niece about it. Yep. So first bass was the Marlin Sidewinder, black, sparkle. Second bass was the Hohner Jack bass, natural, the wooden looking one, headless. Third bass was the Fender Precision Light, which is still over here. If you want to see the rest of them, you can go, there's a video here on the channel called Building a Bass Collection 2023. All my current collection are in there, apart from the ones I've bought since the video was made. And I haven't done a video on the ones that I've bought and sold, but I think that's about 14 basses in its own right. So, yeah. Peter Deegan, good to see you. Thank you for all the likes and messages on the Facebook channel. Thank you very much. Little late to the party. You got here eventually, Peter. No problem. Then my niece. Show me the pink one. It's my favourite. Hold on. Hold on. Bear with me, folks. She's talking about the Kubicki. Unless she's talking about a different bass. I think it's this. Right, let's check with her. She might mean Betsy, but I suspect she means this. Do you mean that? Is that the one you mean, Hayley? Or do you mean the Betsy? This is the one that got a hell of a bang. Right there. Doesn't look so bad, but it was and is and has resulted in the bass changing colour somewhat. James Sweeney, I still have a Marlin Slammer from 82. Did they make them then? Really? Ah, my niece, yes, that's the bass. Bought on the same day that I first saw Billy Sheehan and Mr. Big at Hammersmith. So that would have been, I think it was about the 9th of May, 1991. Whatever that date that they played at Hammersmith, that was the date I bought this. Lewis Wingrove, good enough for me. He owns both of those Strats. I'm telling you, that 83 is breathtaking. The 90 is almost as good, so that is why we're modifying 90 for a different tone. I think we've had this discussion before, Lewis. You were waxing lyrical about those Strats. You're in love with Betsy, I know. She's over there. Kev Mack, I have Kabiki envy. Wish I got on that train. Well, they're out there. You can still buy a new one. It's going to cost you $5,000. That's the problem. You buy second-hand ones for about $2.5. I'll tune this up for a while. Oh, it's very out. It's very out. Ooh, bottoming out a bit. Needs setting up as well. Fretless skills need a little work, I think you'll find. Yes, indeed. We'll be getting it once we start doing the fretless series. I don't know what I'm playing. Just blagging it. Lewis, Betsy's the only bass that I don't care how many frets or what is the radius, I'll play it. It's a great bass to play, I have to say. Really, it's good when the bass isn't in tune and I'm still fimmicking around on it as though I know what I'm doing. I don't. My intonation is well off. Some of you got to practice and do it regularly. We've had a few travels, haven't we, dear? A few war wounds as well. But still here. Martin, I've been having a lot of fun with a Spaceman Polaris overdrive pedal recently. Works exceptionally well with a bass and has a few bass friendly features. Worth checking out if you get the chance. Okay, I'll try and check one out. I'll check some videos out and potentially get in touch with the company, see if they'll send me one. Get a load of that. I look like I know what I'm doing. I'm just playing. Oh dear. We'll stop there, shall we? Before it gets any worse. So I'm going to be holding this for a little while then. Yeah. We've got another 50 minutes to go, guys, and then we'll be wrapping up at 10:30. Sorry, it's a short one this evening, but needs must, unfortunately. If anyone's got any questions about the bass collection, feel free. The reason I asked that is so for those of you who regularly attend the live chats and friends here on the channel, you know I did a video back in January about my bass collection. And all of a sudden, over the past 8 or 9 days, that video has suddenly bloomed for a second time. So it did very well when it was launched. It did over 10,000 views. And has then kind of plateaued for the past few months. And for some reason, over the past week, it's been getting about 50 views a day. And I went into the analytics to see what was driving this. And it's literally just the YouTube algorithm promoting that video on YouTube, just presenting it into people's video feeds and saying, here, you might like to watch this. And people are clicking on it and watching it. So if you're one of those people and you've watched that video recently and thought, God, what the hell is going on with that collection? If you've got any questions, now's the day to ask. More than happy to answer any questions about any of it. Lewis, should have done intonation upside down for more difficulty, then gravity would have occurred. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. You're a cheeky chap, Lewis. Martin Fay, your noodling has gone all psychedelic. Indian Beatles sounding. Yeah, it has a little, isn't it? It's because the strings aren't in tune. It could be anything. We could throw a low D in there, shall I? That's a low C. Oh no, it is a D, sorry. Couldn't even see where I was fretting. There we go. Lewis, I'll behave. See that you do, Lewis. Then my niece, do you have a favourite bass? I've got quite a few, actually. Funny that, isn't it? Depends what I'm doing. It's not so much a favourite. There's basses I rely on that I know I can take into any gig and will just do a great job. So the red one, the red Status, that I can rely on that anywhere in the world. It's not going to give me a problem. It will cut through any band mix. Graphite neck won't move. Doesn't matter what the temperature is. It's got LEDs in the neck, so if I'm on a stage and the lighting's bad, doesn't matter. Turn those on, I can see everything that's going on. I do love my alembics, but they just don't lend themselves to everything. And they're quite big. So unless I know the stage I'm on is going to have enough room to ensure I'm not going to batter it or get it damaged, I tend not to take them out. But there are gigs when I know what the situation is going to be and I will take them out. My GBs, of course, love my GBs. I like everything I've got. So it's not really a favourite. It just depends what I'm doing. But then you've got the ones that are kind of the fail-safe guitars. So say if I had to take 4, if I can only take 4, it would be the Empathy, GB Rumor 4, probably the Kingfisher Blue one because it was made for me. One of the Alembics, I couldn't pick which. And I'm looking around all the bass going, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what the last one would be. Too tricky a question. But it does all depend on what I'm doing and who I'm playing with and where I'm playing as to which bass goes in the bag on the gigs, really. Juice, what are your thoughts on hangers versus stands for basses? I don't really have any thoughts on them. I have stands and I have hangers, and I know some people go, oh, you can't put bass on a hanger. Whoa, it will cause a problem. I guess it depends on the brand of the hanger, the material it's made of, what part is contacting with the headstock and which isn't. I don't have any definite thoughts on that. Stands wise is a little different. I have a real issue with getting a decent stand for doing photography for the channel. If you use a Hercules stand where it's gripping underneath the headstock, if you do anything other than straight down the center, you're going to get the black part of the stand, the vertical part, in the picture. You still can't take a picture with the headstock without the headstock grip around it. If you use one of their other stands, you end up with a part of the frame around the bottom. So if you use an A-frame, you get the leg parts coming up under the bottom. Or you can use these XCG stands, but then you still end up with stuff showing up. You either end up with the legs, the feet of the cradle, or you end up with that bit. And I've yet to find a stand that is ideal for taking photos, other than resting a bass up against a cabinet or something and hoping it doesn't fall over. So yeah, what are your thoughts? Tell me what you think. Am I missing something here? Because I know some people just can't stand using wall hangers. Or it causes a problem on the bass, it will take the finish off. If you're talking about fenders with nitro finishes, well, anything will take that finish off. Just the nature of the product, you know. Kev Mac, I treated myself to the AFK, the fretless pedal. AFK, by who? Oh, a company out of Italy. Has reverb and anything you need for a great fretless sound. Bit pricey though. I'll check it out, Kev. I haven't heard of that. Clearly something I need to be aware of, especially if I'm going to be doing a fretless series. I think as and when I get round to using this for fretless, because I'm going to be doing the bulk of it on the bass center bass, it's going to get some heavier strings on here. These are 4000s. I don't even know what the brand are. Bernie Goodfellow put them on here. Jacko, I'm not. Never purport to be, sadly. Good. It'll be his anniversary shortly, won't it? Next week. Is it the weekend? Sunday, maybe? Can't remember. I think it's the 17th. I think. Yeah. So what have you all been up to, those that didn't attend the last two live chats? What have you been up to over the summer months? Let's know your bass-related stories. We did 3 1 per month live chats here on the channel. We did one at the end of June. We did one at the end of July when Nick Queen was here with us for 3 hours of chat. And then we did one at the end of August. And then we came back last week. Lewis Wingrove, you need to use cloth to disappear the stand on a frame. Yeah, I do. Martin, what do you reckon is the most versatile bass you own, Mike? Whoa. That's a hard one, Martin. Again, it's what reliability. It's a huge thing for me. And one of the things I had when I was in my old covers band in Cover Story for 17 years was we played a semitone down tuning. And a lot of the basses I bought thinking, oh, it's going to be great, it's going to be wonderful. You tune it down a semitone, it was like playing strings that were rubber. And some of them just didn't appreciate being tuned a semitone down, which shouldn't really make that big a difference, but on some basses it does. Really changes how a bass feels and plays and responds. And had I had the Digitech, the Zoom, not Zoom, what am I on about? Digitech drop pedal. Where's it got? Oh, it's over there. I wouldn't have had a problem. I could have just used that and not had to tune the basses down. But some of them just did not take kindly to being tuned down, tuned up, tuned down, tuned up as you use them on different band gigs and what have you. So in that band, there were a couple of basses that really stood out. So my old Stingray, that was Mark King's, that I ended up selling on, that handled it okay. Then I got the Empathy in the Series 2000. The Empathy has written its own story since 2007. It's been my main bass for a lot of stuff. The Trace Elliott Status T bass stood the test of time. That did 2 years while I was waiting for my GB Rumour to be made. The Rumour held being tuned down perfectly okay. So versatile, I've got lots of basses that are versatile. It's just what, sometimes when you get busy and you're doing lots of gigs, You want a bass that you can literally just take on everything and it's going to do the business. So having a graphite neck that doesn't move is always a good thing. But then some of the graphite basses I've got haven't lent, like the Series 2000 doesn't lend itself tonally to everything you might do. And but the Empathy has just covered itself in glory pretty much since 2007. I bought it in 2002 and used it on off between that and the Series 2000 for a couple of years. And then I just couldn't get on with it. I think it was something to do with the brand of string I was using, the gauge, the way the bass was set up. And I didn't use it for quite a while. And then someone offered me money to buy it. And I said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give it a month. And if I can't make that bass work for me within the next month, I'll sell it to you. And it's still here. So that says everything. I changed the strings, changed the gauge, changed the material, gave it a proper setup, adjusted the pickup height, got that bass playing like a hot rod. And yeah, it's done the bulk of the work since 2007. It's still doing the bass string experiment. We did gig number 65 on Saturday. It's going to be doing gig 66 on Friday, 67 on Saturday this week. I thought the strings were gone at gig 60, and here we are approaching 66 and 67. So, you know, read into that what you will. But yeah, versatile. Most of the basses I've got, to be fair. And look, you know, I've picked wisely over the years. You know, there's probably a few basses here that if I was only left with that, I could get everything done. But I like having multiple instruments to call on. And, you know, growing up, it was always something that I always thought I'd play with more bands than I have done. But then I was in one band for 17 years, made a lot of money, and it served me well. But being in a busy band meant you couldn't debt with lots of others. And I'd always say, if you can be in one band and be really busy, do it, because it's far less stress, less worry on your mind, less learning, less grief. And if you get a really good working unit of a couple of people, make it work for you, because it will reap its own benefits. Man, said that would have been nice. There's lots of gigs I missed out on that I couldn't do because we were busy. And had I done those other gigs, it would have helped me further down the line when I left that band. There would have been other opportunities that had opened up for me had I played with the other bands. But you can't do everything. You can't be in two places at once. Lord knows if you could, there'd be some Saturdays I'd be out on about 20 gigs, but there we go. There we go. So to answer your question, Martin, I don't know, I can pick one that's the most versatile. They all do different things. They all have different sounds. But I've bought pretty well. I think I'm looking at them in the racks, and, you know, I've got a good selection, put it that way. I can cover anything I need to cover these days. There was nothing worse than sort of in the early to mid 2000s when I was getting very busy and people would ask you to bring, have you got one of these? Have you got that? Can you get that sound? And I didn't have them. And I had to sort of put that to rights. But now, no, I think pretty much everything kind of takes care of itself, really. But I like having the flexibility. You know, it'd be lovely to have one instrument and that's all you ever played. But just as a working bass player, if you're not working in one band that's permanently busy, then you're going to be doing lots of different stuff with different bands, and some basses just don't fit into certain bands and their requirements. So, you know, having different stuff will always stand you in good stead, I think. It's like being a guitarist, having lots of different effects and pedals, you know. Got to get the sounds that people want. That's what they're hiring you for. There we are. So I'll do one last preamble as we go into the final half hour of tonight's live chat. Brooks's Base Corner, live chat 55, here, London town in the UK. You're very welcome. If you're one of the new subscribers to the channel, thank you very much for joining us. Good to see you. Welcome aboard. If you've not been here on live chat before, this is the video window. Directly below, if you're on the mobile app, is the live chat window. If you're on desktop version, it's that way. Put your cursor, your pointer, your mouse, whatever you want to call it, into the live chat window. Type your question or comment, press send. It'll pop up here on my window. At the bottom of the live chat window, you'll see an emoji icon, so feel free to give that an absolute pummeling. There's also a dollar symbol that allows you to make a small contribution to the channel if you wish to do so, and it's called Super Chat. Underneath the video window, you'll see a row of icons. There's a thumbs up, so please give the video a thumbs up if you'd be so kind. There's a thumbs down. If you don't like the video for whatever reason, please leave a comment. I can't make them better if you don't tell me what the problem is. There's a share button, a shop button for merchandise, a save button so you can come back to the video at a later date. You'll also see a dollar symbol in a love heart. That's called Super Thanks. Works exactly the same way as Super Chat. So if you want to make a donation financially to the channel, keep it running, allows me to do all the stuff for the videos and what have you, feel free to do so. You don't have to. The videos are free to watch, but if you want to help the channel, that's a good way to do it. If you're not already a subscriber to the channel, please feel free to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you get notifications when I post up new material. And again, please give the video a like. And if you want to share the video or any of the videos here on the channel, if you want to share them out to your social media, feel free. That's what they're there for. In the description box underneath the video window, you'll find merchandise links for the UK and Europe store and the US and worldwide store. From now, Tuesday, up until 23:59 on Sunday this week, all merch has no delivery cost. So you can buy as much merchandise as you like and there's no delivery fees. It's free shipping. So by all means, take a look at the merchandise store, find a design you like, or designs if you like different ones. Add them to the merchandise, the product you want to buy. And if you're buying clothing, obviously you can pick colors, pick sizes, add them to your basket, pay for the items, no shipping. That's the way that works. Underneath the merchandise links, you'll find affiliate links for Thomann, Amazon, Gear for Music and Andertons. That allows the channel to receive a small affiliate commission for any products you might buy. So if you've got any, maybe you're looking to buy a new bass, a new amp, combo, speaker, pedals, gig bags, strings, leads, cleaning materials, polishing cloths, any of that sort of thing. If you're thinking about buying something, you want to help the channel out, use the links in the description box, find the item you want, add it to your basket, go through and pay for it. We get a small affiliate commission here on the channel. Underneath the affiliate links in every video, you'll find the social media links. You'll find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, which is now called X, Threads, Be Real, Reddit, Quora, Discord and TikTok. That's it. Done that in about 3.5 minutes. Well done. Let's have a look here. Lewis Wingrove, you need to use cloth to disappear the stand on a frame. Done that one. Martin, yeah. Peter Deegan, do you still got the Harley Benton Marquis, or did you return it? No, I've got it here, sir. It's right here. We were talking about it a little earlier. I think you came on just after we talked about it. So it's right here. Kept it. Wasn't sending that back. They took this out of the sale quite quickly. I think either they'd made a mistake or they ran out and they didn't have any more products to ship. So, although they did get some back and the price went up. So I've got it here. There you go. Resplendent. Flame maple top, vertically and horizontally. Yes, sir. Any questions about it? Did you buy one? Did you want one? They stopped doing them on the cheap. It needs a bit of setting up and a bit of fettling. What would you like to know, Peter, if I can help you? Oh, it's hard playing when the bass is like that. Breaking my wrist. Still dislike the shape, I'm afraid. Each to their own, Peter. I can live with it. It'll be coming out on some Uncle Funk shows once I've had it on the workbench and got some new strings on it. Aha! Thank you. Doing all those disco favourites. Yeah, I can go with the shape. I'm all right with it. I don't have a problem with it. Yeah, enough of that. Sounds like a typewriting class. So all the manufacturers will be gearing up for the NAMM show in January. You're going to see a lot of new gear and equipment appearing on the market very, very soon. Get ready, gang. It's coming. Oh. Frets need a right old clean up. It's like whoever put the fret wire on didn't clean them. It wasn't clean wire. So if you've got any more questions, let's have them, gang. You've got 16 minutes. And then we'll be off for the evening. Sorry for the early finish, but I've got a family funeral tomorrow and I need to get my beauty sleep. Although some might say there's no amount of sleep that could restore my good looks, but that's by the by. And I've got a couple of jobs to do before I call it a day. Oh, hello. But anyway, I can't wait to get this on the workbench, get it set up how I want it. Got to sort out these wobbly pickups. I think the foam underneath is just cheap foam, cheap rubbish foam. I'll be putting some slightly more sturdy stuff in there. Get it playing right. Yes, there'll be a workshop video, of course. Of course. That's what I say. Patrick, have you seen that Scott Whiteley has started up his YouTube live stream again after a good while away? I hadn't. I know he had some issues while we were in lockdown, I think. And yeah, I don't actually know Scott personally. I've never even communicated with him. Never met him. And actually, in the past year or so, maybe even slightly longer, I tend not to look at other people here on YouTube, seeing what they're doing, because it's very easy to suddenly think, oh, that's a good idea, I'll do that, or I'll do something similar. And it's not that I can't not be influenced by someone. I can easily put the blinders on and not consider trying to not consider trying to copy what someone else has done. But I just prefer not to do it. I just think in order to grow on YouTube, you can either go for the sensationalist kind of thing, which I guess is a degree of what Scott Devine does. You know, the not clickbait, but, you know, sensationalist video titles and what have you. And that's fine. But for someone like me, I'm going to be in competition with him. And it would become very obvious if I did the same thing. So better that I don't even sort of go into that territory, or at least try and be in that. And I'd rather provide sort of factual content. So more reviews, more demos, more features, that kind of thing. I know it's going to take ages for my channel to build in that way. And I have to make a conscious decision. Do I want to do that, or do I want to do the alternative? But at the moment, I want to build up the amount of reviews and factual stuff, because what I'm finding looking at my analytics is that people want, or what does well on my channel is people, dare I say, using the channel as like a library service of information rather than the entertainment factor. Now, in order to do the entertainment kind of stuff, you need to have a bit more of a team around you. At the moment, I'm a one-man band, so I have to do everything myself, and trying to cram everything in and be an active musician and regularly gigging, there isn't the time to do the really entertaining stuff. And I don't have the finance behind me to do those super glossy videos. I've got the ideas, I just don't have the technology or the team to be able to do it. That could happen, that could change further down the line. But for the moment, what seems to do well on my channel is when I do factual stuff. Okay, it's, you know, reviews have got my opinions in there. Whether you like my opinions or not, that's for you to decide as an individual. But I will always be honest with gear. I won't ever say something's good if it's not, and I won't say something's bad if it's not. And I reserve the right to do that. I'm not paid by anyone to say whether something's good, bad, or indifferent. But I'd like to get a reputation for being known as a trustworthy source of information and like review opinion. So we'll see. We'll see. You never know. The channel could always take a fork, might come to a fork in the road, and I go in one direction. Channel takes a different flavour. We'll see. But no, I mean, I was having a chat with someone a couple of weeks ago, and they were going, "Oh, surely you'd want your channel to be bigger and have more people." And and I said, "Yeah, but there's no point having 10,000 subscribers if only 500 of them ever watch your video or buy the merchandise or get involved in your live chat. What's the point? Having 10,000 subscribers is only good if you're after sponsorship or to outside companies, but I'm not attracting that at the moment. So I'd rather have 3,000 active people who watch the videos, come on the live chats, you know, buy the merchandise, get involved with comments and what have you on the videos. That's far more important. I'm a small channel. I'm not a big channel, so you know, make the most of the people you've got on here. So that's kind of what I'm doing. If people get attracted to joining the channel, then great. That's what I'm after. But I don't want to get into that whole clickbaity thing. And lots of channels do it, and okay, their videos do quite well and what have you, but it must be mentally draining trying to always come up with another, how do I draw another 100,000 people to watch my next video? It's like, it's draining enough doing it as I do it at the moment to then be constantly coming up with a new clickbaity title every week. Craziness. Crazy, I tell you. Martin Fay, question on your affiliate links, Mike. Do you know if I use your Thomann link and then add something that's not on your list, do you get the percentage? I think you do, as long as it's got my partner ID number in there. And I think if you go into the general link rather than the departmentalized links that are in the description box, I think I should still get it. But as we did with that compressor pedal, Martin, if there's something you want on Thomann and it's not in there, then tell me what it is. Send me a link to it. I can very quickly add it into my store and we can do it that way. But I know that every time you do a purchase on Thomann, I'm getting the affiliate points because my affiliate points are going up. It doesn't say that it comes from you. It just says what date something was purchased. So, and I know you've told me before that those purchases were probably you anyway. But yes, if there's something you want, it's not in the store, tell me what it is or send me a link. I'll add it in and then I'll email you to let you know it's there and you can go ahead and buy it. But I do really appreciate the affiliate clicks. Makes a big difference. Peter Deegan, Thomann has got a couple of Sadowski Metro Express bases on sale. Yes, I saw those. Just under 500 euros. Yeah, I've not had a chance to play any of those yet. There was, I did a Sadowski review very early on in the channel's life. Hold on, let me find it for you. It was one of those sort of bluey, helps if you spell it right, Mike. There we go. It was the Sadowski Metro Line Vintage J421 Limited 4-string, which had sort of the blue and grey quilted maple top. That was a really good bass, but I've heard varying reports of those. So that was Metro Line. You're talking about Metro Express, which were the cheaper ones that came. I think they were being done by Warwick and then they ended up via China. Is that right? But they're quite cheap. But I haven't played one. So if you have experience, Peter, please let me know. What are your thoughts on them? Patrick, always better to do your own thing, in my opinion. I think so, because there's so many bass channels here on YouTube, and it actually makes me, I shouldn't say this, but I will, it makes me laugh a little bit, because on Bass Chat there's a continuous thread about bass channels you should follow on YouTube. Now, there's a lot of people on there who know me, or I've worked with, or through the magazine we've had to sort of work together or what have you. I've never once been mentioned on there, and I actually wear it as a bit of a badge of honor that I'm clearly going under the radar, or my stuff isn't considered good enough for the people on Bass Chat. But that's fine. I can live with that. I'm quite happy about that. If I'm under their radar and people don't really, or if it's just people don't like what I do, that's fine. You're never going to get a huge load of theory videos from me. There's too many other people doing it. I wouldn't get enough views doing that sort of stuff. So, you know, the people who do the theory videos, and good luck to them. That's, please, you know, they do it so well. Why would I even bother? You know, I don't need to contribute to that. But the stuff I do, and I hope you guys all appreciate it. It's an extension of what I did with the magazines, you know. As far as I'm concerned, what I did for the magazine, reviews, interviews, features, all of that kind of stuff, I'm just doing a video version of it here. And And I hope that's what you guys appreciate. I would imagine it is, because the comments I get back and the messages I get every week through the social media and on the videos and what have you, seems to be that that's what you guys like. And the fact that I do reviews and there's no bias there. If something's bad, I'll say it's bad. If it's good, I'll say it's good. Martin, okay, we'll get back to you if I decide to go ahead. I'm getting lustful thoughts about the Lakeland Skyline 4464, the Geezer Butler PJ. Go for it, Martin. Those sort of bases, if they, I guess apart from things like the Joe Osborne, the Darryl Jones, but the Geezer Butler, you don't know how long that will be available for. If you want one, go for one, because Lakeland Skylines aren't that expensive, really. Peter Deegan, Martin, I got that Lakeland, tremendous bass. Well, there you go. You need to be buying one of those, Martin Fay, surely. There have been a few bass buzzers that drop in occasionally. Yes, there have. Yeah. I need to drop back into bass buzz, actually. I haven't been on there for quite a while. Just been so busy. Past few months have been chaos. What with gigs, family health, new dog, a million and one other things, and the YouTube channel. It's been a crazy summer. But yeah, we're all good. We're still here. Just grab a quick drink here. We'll do another 5-10 minutes, guys, and then we will call it a day. I wish the handle was on the other side. What was that? Kev Mack, the Geezers are very good pickups. Very good. Just check it. The Lakeland Skyline. Just check you don't have the volume discrepancy that I had on the one I've got over there. The ice metallic blue. Where I had to radically change the pickup height between the Jazz and the P to get an equal volume. So no matter which one I panned to, the volume was the same. It's quite a discrepancy. And the routing cutting on that is dreadful. For the pickups, the routing is just too much. Again, like the Marquis. And I did complain about that here on one of the live chats some time ago. Actually, I think I even mentioned it on the workbench video. Pete Deegan, I didn't have the pickups issue at all. Okay, well, maybe they've put better pickups in there. David Crouch, I don't think you've been here before. Welcome, though. It's good to see you. Thank you very much for attending. Got any questions, anything you'd like to ask, stick it in the live chat window and I'll respond as quickly as I can. Kev Matt, I only used the P, so I never had that problem. Yeah, when I've used the Lakeland so far on Queen tribute gigs, obviously I'm only on the split coil P pickup. And it's punchy, it's great, but the Jazz pickup was so, not quiet, but it lacking in any sort of oomph. That I dropped the P pickup down. So now it doesn't matter how I pan between the two. It's a fairly consistent sort of volume level. Well, whether it's pan between either or in the middle, it's the same kind of volume. The tone is what changes as you go in between the two pickups. It's only a minor tweak, it's not a big deal, but it's just a bit annoying that a bass as good as that, and relatively newish, a couple of years old, had such a discrepancy between the volumes. Did Geezer use the J? I don't know. Martin? Anyone know? I'm sure one of you fine people out there will know. His original didn't have a J, but his new one he uses both. There you go. So he's going to get a bit more twang and a bit more bite his signal. I'm having that J there. Might just clean his signal up a little. If he was before, he was just using the split coil. If you throw the J into the mix, you get a bit more kind of mid in there, which is no bad thing. You'll cut through the band mix a bit tighter, so. Sorry, we're in that period in the live chat where I end up just watching the laptop screen for the messages. That'll be the dog. Like clockwork. Martin, go on then, add it to your affiliate list, mate. I'll probably get an irresistible urge. Okay, is it that bass? Right, let me go in. I'll see if I can do it right now. So it's the Skyline Geezer Butler. Is there various finishes or is it just the one? Bear with me a moment. Why is that giving me some grief? So it doesn't like my password. That's good. It's because I'm on the laptop, not on my main desktop. Can't remember if I've changed the. Let's see if it's that. Nope, didn't like that either. Tell you what, Martin, I'll do it once we finish the live chat, and I'll use my main PC, and I'll add it in there for you. Check it in about half an hour. I presume there's only one model in one colour. Kevin Matt, I visited London in the 80s and I had a blast. Good. Black, of course. But digging, I got the trans purple one, no rush. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll do that for you. But check it round about half an hour's time. I will make sure it's there. Thank you very much for the affiliate sales, sir. Much appreciated as always. Okay, it's 22:33. I'm going to have to start winding this up because I've got a couple of jobs to do before I call it a day today. On that note, I will say thank you very much to all of you for attending tonight's live chat. Sorry it's a little shorter than normal. Just events have dictated that's what we've got to do today. We'll be back next Tuesday at 8 o'clock here in London. And we will do live chat number 56. Going to try and get some special guests on over the next couple of weeks. So leave it with me. We'll see who I can corral into joining us for one of these live chats, and see if we can do some Q&A stuff as well. There will be some new videos going up this week. Just got to get tomorrow dealt with. And then Thursday, maybe Friday. I'll try for Thursday, hey. There'll be some new video content. Probably be one of the bass string experiment videos. I should also announce I will be popping to Anaconda Basses this week. I'm picking up a couple of basses for review and doing some reviews while I'm there as well on a couple of customer basses that have been ordered. They're going to be sent out very soon. So I've got to get over there before they're shipped. So those videos will be cropping up. So it'll be good to see Andrew if you're watching, Andrew, see you this week. And let me think what else we got coming up. Lots of demos, lots of reviews. Got to get some of the interview videos up as well. It's all go, isn't it? So on that note, I will love you and leave you. Take care of yourselves. Have a great week. Look after yourselves. Keep watching the videos. Please leave thumbs up, leave comments. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do that as well. Merchandise, I'll say again, free delivery until 1 minute to midnight on Sunday, this Sunday. So if you want to buy any merch, t-shirts, mugs, caps, water bottles, beer glasses, 1,000,001 other items, go and check out the merchandise. Links are in the description box. And along with the affiliate sales links, Martin, I'll sort your base out shortly. On that note, have a great week. I'll see you next Tuesday. If you want to contact me at all, social media is probably the best policy. My sister's just messaged. Good night. See you tomorrow, Mike. Me and Amy have been on all evening. Good one. As always, thank you very much. Thank you to you all for your getting involved in the live chat. Can't do it without you. Otherwise, it's just me talking to myself. See you in the morning, Mum. And on that note, take it easy. See you next week, 8 o'clock, same time as usual. See you there. Take it easy. Bye.